All right, you guys, we are so excited to have Darren Bailey with us. He is a videographer, and we are blessed to have him here to tell us all about the cool stuff he does. So I'm going to kind of let you introduce your company, what you do, all the good stuff.
Well, yes, I'm a videographer. My company is Web Video Imagery.
Okay. Is that your website?
It's my website, webvideoimagery.com.
Okay.
Because back, 10 years ago, you really had to have the right words for Google
to
know who you were.
Yep.
So web, video, and then I thought images.
Yeah.
Right? Video, moving pictures, like trying to come up with something that was video. So I'm like, imagery, because it was just web video images. And I'm like, well, those are still photos.
Right.
So then I thought web video imagery, it was just a big game on what is going to be a good keyword.
Yeah. And you should also follow him on Facebook because he shows a lot of fun videos of what he's doing every single day and what he can do. And you've also worked for some news agencies as well. So kind of just tell us about you and what
little bio.
I would like a bio, please.
Little bio. So
and
I
you have
like,
30 seconds.
I like
Get it done. I'm just kidding.
I like long walks on beaches.
Do you?
And yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
So I started many years ago back in high school. Went to high school in Jackson, Wyoming.
You did?
And they had a television program.
Okay.
In high school. And so it was art, ceramics, auto shop, or television class. So I thought, well, TV class, that'd be cool.
That would be way cool.
So we started making music videos, and then I wanted to be a Warren Miller cinematographer because we were big skiers.
Yeah.
So we'd take cameras up to the ski resorts, and this was in the early 90s.
Okay.
Cool.
Like 89, 90.
He's old like me, guys.
And then graduated in 92. So I kind of fell in love with television and video and telling stories back then.
Okay.
And I worked for a small little TV station in Jackson when I was in high school. And then jumped into I had a friend of my aunt babysat his kids. So he was a videographer in Denver at an NBC station. So I went out with him a few times in Denver and really just fell in love with what it is because television, you are witnessing history and you're in the front row. I guess that's true.
I've never thought of that.
And so I ended up, my first job was in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
And I spent a year there. And then my wife and I and 1-month-old baby at the time moved to Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
So I spent 10 months there. And then in 98, I came to
was that when you were born,
KUTV.
Trevor?
I don't even think he was born yet.
I was born in 91, thanks.
91.
Just kidding.
I'm 30 plus.
Okay.
So you were born when I was a junior in high school. So
I love it.
yeah.
On
So
a
if
side
we
note,
had-
my mom tried to set me up with
Okay.
somebody that she met on an airplane I was born the year he graduated. So she lost her
There you
privileges
go.
back in the day.
Dang.
So then I ended up at KUTV in 1998.
Okay.
From 98 to 08, I was at the CBS station here in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I left there in 08 and went to Phoenix for 5 years. And I came back to KSL to do their investigative special project stuff with Mike Hedrick and Debbie Dujanovic, who's now she's on the radio.
Yeah.
But we told a lot of stories together. And then
How
I
fun.
wanted to do my own thing because people, I kind of saw TV, like who watches TV news?
My
Crickets.
parents?
Not me.
My
Crickets?
parents?
Nobody watches TV news anymore.
My mom's like, did you see the 10 o'clock news tonight? I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't.
So now I help people tell their stories to market themselves
Yep.
on their web pages, on Facebook, on social media. And so I go after two different clients. It's the small business owner or the person that wants to tell their story.
So he helps small businesses just basically get out there with cool video.
Yep. And tell
Eye-catching.
your story. And then I have, and then real estate agents.
Okay. And I've actually seen some of the stuff that he's done, and it's really good. You had one client that they bought the house. It was that really expensive client or house that you were telling me about that they bought the house because they saw your video or became interested in it. What was? I'm trying to remember what the story was.
I've sold, I haven't sold, but real estate agents have
He's
sold.
not a licensed real estate agent.
Have sold houses sight unseen.
Yeah, because
I've
of his
shot.
videos, because they're really well done.
Yeah, and people say, if that house looks as good as the video,
Yeah.
I will buy it.
Yeah.
And there's one agent in Salt Lake that sold 3 or 4
Just by
with
having
my
you do the
video
videos.
sight unseen.
Yeah,
So cool.
That's really cool. It's a
powerful video.
When you see some pictures on the MLS and then you go to the house, you're like, that is not the same house. And obviously the goal is to make it look as good as possible. But a lot of these nicer homes, they are as nice as the videos show. But anyway, so I was intrigued by that. Sight unseen, somebody buying or, making an offer on a house that nice. So what did you do for like KSL when you were here? Like what was your job there?
So I was one of the cameramen. So
Okay.
I went out with the reporter
Okay.
and shot the story.
I bet you saw some crazy crap.
Some crazy crap. And we got to see we were like the front row to history is what I always said.
Yeah.
And like I had lunch with the Dalai Lama.
Did you really?
That is so cool.
In the governor's mansion one day when he came into town.
Oh my gosh.
The governor's clear back into, before Huntsman.
I don't even remember.
Was Levitt.
Oh, that's right.
Governor
I do actually
Levitt.
remember that.
So we were good friends. Like I became good friends with Jeff Hornacek and obviously Carl Malone. Would grab
I was
my
thinking
wins.
about Carl Malone today because he bought this business right next to us.
Oh yes.
Is he still living in Utah? Sorry,
He's
you probably
back
won't
and
say.
forth. He's
Okay.
Louisiana, but I guess
Okay.
he was up in Heber the other day.
Okay, so it kind of comes
So
in
he's
between
in and
because he
out
has
of
a lot
town.
of businesses here.
But a lot of the jazz back in the 90s,
Yeah.
I was pretty good friends with. And you get to see and meet a lot of people,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, doing the reporting and all that stuff.
thing. And when you walk in, it's, I'm Darren Bailey from KSL or from KUTV, and they all know you and they want to talk to you. And
Yep.
But now it's just, I'm Darren Bailey from Web Video Imagery, and they're
Yep.
like, who are you?
I know, right? So we need to help you get you out there.
I'm not near as cool anymore.
So I don't know if you know this, but Trevor actually got a job here because he did videography
Yeah.
but never with the news.
I was a second shooter on weddings
Yeah.
for NP Films here in Utah. I don't even know if he's still doing it, but it was kind of fun. So, I think that the biggest question I have is when you were out with the reporters and everything, did you use just the lights that were attached to your camera, or did you have time to like set up scenes? Because I've always wondered, because the movies show it one way,
True.
but like, did you actually set up a scene when you're outside and have like professional lights and everything, or did you just run around and try to get the shot as quick as possible?
A lot of it is very run and gun.
Cool.
And so I had a light on the top of my camera.
Yeah.
But when you're outside, even on cloudy days like today, you don't really need it because there's enough light.
Yeah.
But when we were coming into, like, let's say a mortgage department
Yeah.
or an office of some sort, the doctor's offices, I would take lights with me.
Yeah,
So
because
then
you
I would
can't
set up
guarantee
lights.
how those are going to look and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the people watching and listening, how can you help them? Like, what kinds of things? How do you help people develop their brand and all of that?
So it's their story.
Okay.
What is your story? Everybody has a story.
Yeah, why they are doing what they're doing.
After KSL, I worked on a TV show called The Story Trek that airs on BYU TV. We literally traveled the country, knocked on doors, and told people stories.
Cool.
So then I wanted to take businesses and people and tell their stories. You are the author of your story. I am not going to bring actors and write you a script
Right.
and
Why not? I need help with that.
tell you all about it. I'm going to sit down
Right.
and we're going to talk.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, so what's up with the pink hair
You like
and the
pink
matching
rose that-
and the matching boots? Because you have style.
Yeah,
So there's obviously something behind the style of your office.
it's true.
There's something behind everybody
Yep.
and how they
And it's
got there.
interesting to hear what makes people tick
Yes.
and what led them to be who they are or develop their business the way they have.
And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, somebody has a really good reason. I've met one guy that was just like, yeah, I'm just a physical therapist just because I thought it would be cool. Well, you didn't get hurt and you didn't have like a
You
big
didn't have any-
Achilles tendon thing where you spent 4
Yeah.
years at a physical therapist and he's like, no, I just thought it'd be cool. I'm like, oh,
You're like, that's kind of
okay,
boring.
well, your story.
Well, your story's
Never
5
mind.
seconds long.
It's like my phone I have to go. Yeah, that's a little awkward. Like, where do you go
Yeah.
from there? You're like, cool.
And there's a lot of videos that you can do because you can tell the story. The
Right.
why story is what I kind of base my
I
storytelling
love that
off
idea
of.
because, I mean, one, it lets, like, if you, as a business owner, you want people to know and like you, right?
Yeah.
So the more they know that and the kind of the behind the scenes stuff about why you did what you did,
Yeah, it's like humanizing.
yeah, that definitely
So you
helps.
can relate to someone.
And then you have testimonials.
Yep.
So the best way to promote yourself is let somebody else do it. That's why Google reviews are such a big deal.
Yes.
And Amazon, who shops on Amazon, and you read all the reviews before you buy
I've been looking for
something.
a vacuum for my kitchen,
Yeah.
and that is what I'm going off of. And a whole bunch of
Amazon
people
reviews?
on Facebook. Yes. Well, I had a whole bunch of people on Facebook tell me, and they almost all told me something different, which I'm sure they're all great, right? But I went on Amazon, and I'm like, which one had the most reviews and the best reviews? And that's kind of how I picked it. And Google's the exact same way.
It's probably my just generation, but sometimes I'll be like going to YouTube and be like, best vacuum in 2023 for hard floors. And there's like someone has a video comparing like
Oh,
6
heck.
And
on
so,
no matter what.
And so testimonials are huge because then
Absolutely.
you can control the testimonial and obviously pick your favorite clients, right?
You don't pick the one that hated you.
that are going to give you a 1 star.
This is our 4-star review.
I thought they smelled like beef. Anyway.
And then the other story is educational stuff.
Okay.
So I've taken some in your industry, a real estate agent that I shoot a lot for, and we hooked up with her mortgage department and her brokerage. And the agent just interviewed the mortgage person about rates and what's going on at the time and what's happening and what's a buy down and how to, get money. It's all the educational stuff. You set up a couple cameras, kind of like you guys have going on here, and you do little interviews. And what that does for the agent is it puts them out there in the world. It makes them the,
professional
knowing professional person that has a great mortgage person that'll help them out. And this one agent put it out on Instagram, and immediately within 3 days, she had
some business from
half a dozen leads.
Yeah. And we do a lot of videos like that because we know it's important to get our story out there, and we're trying to actually, do more of that and more of the personal side of things and trying to tell people like what makes us tick. And that's why we kind of started our own little podcast, just because it's fun, right? But also to kind of be able to do the personal side of us and not just loans.
Yeah.
So we're kind of excited about that. So that's going to be TNA online at some point. So
and people can always use their phone.
Absolutely.
They can talk into their phone, but you can only do so much of that because I think that, your website is your storefront.
Yep, it is.
And so when people come to see you, you need to have a nice, pretty storefront. And some of my videos might be a one-off, but that's fine because there's 100,000 businesses in the Wasatch Front.
Yes.
And I think they all need a video because they all have a why. They're all in business for a reason. They all have something to show and tell and to show clients and, what they're about.
So tell me how you determine what a project might cost or like that sort of thing. And we're not asking for specific numbers, but like what determines what it costs?
So I have a half-day rate and a full-day rate.
Okay.
And I'm about $100 an hour.
Okay. I actually paid him to come help us set up our lighting and things like that just so that we could make sure that we knew what we were doing with all that.
Home tours, I'm anywhere between, $250 and $500, depending on
the size of the house and whatever.
The size of the house and where it is. Because if I have to go to Park City and I'm going to spend all day. Yeah. But then if the agent wants to be on camera, I'm going to add a little of that because I help direct them, I help produce them, I help.
And sometimes that's the hardest part, getting people comfortable in front of a camera. We've kind of experienced that with some of our stuff.
And I can do that because I put people on TV for 20 years.
Right.
And again, that real estate agent that I've worked a lot with, she's like, man, I used to have to do shots of Jack Daniels or some Hennessy
before
so she can loosen up.
Before I would go on camera. And she goes, now I'm not drinking with you behind the camera because you make me feel comfortable. And
and that is honestly such a huge thing for people because so many people are afraid to be on camera. And I don't know that I've ever been afraid. I'm better at it now than I was when we first started, but I wasn't.
That's true.
I wasn't afraid of it because it's fun for me. And I think it can be fun for most people. And I think, you try to make it a good experience so that they want to do it again. And video is such a huge way to help people's businesses. And I think if people would just get out of their comfort zone, they can grow their business just by adding video.
Because what's TikTok?
Video. What's
Instagram?
Video and pictures.
What's Facebook?
And that's the thing.
What's YouTube? It's all video.
Yeah, and they're all going to the short little videos. And here's the deal: if you're not great at video, you can still take small segments and put it together because they want that changing, all the time on the video. Like transitions between shots, and you don't have to be perfect for very long.
Or you hire me.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying hire you, but you'll know how to do certain things. Yeah, and teleprompters. That one's kind of an interesting one. Do you use those very often?
Not much, because honestly, we sit down and we have a conversation.
Yep, it's way easier to do.
And the conversation,
and more comfortable.
And I can ask you dumb questions.
Yep.
And
man, does he ever? I'm just kidding.
And the really dumb questions elicit great response.
They do,
and it elicits great passion in the person, because they look at me and they're like, "Tell me a dumb question.
I want to hear what you asked me."
No, I'd have to.
I put you on the spot.
Run through some of my questions and be
what's
like,
your
"So
favorite meal? I'm just
why mortgage? Why a 2-to-1 buy down? Why do any of that stuff?" And people will.
You could ask the question that my mother-in-law asks: "Why would anyone use you when there's banks available?"
There you go.
Like those questions, right? No.
We might go there,
If you need a little bit of
steers there,
fire before, or fire in your
fire
eyes.
somebody up.
Well, she doesn't even need banks. She's fine with that, Yeah, those are fun questions.
And then you start to see the passion come out when you find somebody's switch.
Yep, absolutely. I just had to throw. Okay. Anyway.
So your job essentially is to make sure people look good and ask them dumb questions.
That's right.
Perfect. That's amazing.
Exactly.
To get the things he wants on video that are going to transfer.
I ask dumb questions. Yeah. They answer me brilliantly.
Yes.
Perfect.
But sometimes I think they're thinking, why did you ask me that?
Yeah.
But it elicited a great response.
But those didn't sound like stupid questions, though.
No.
To me, those aren't dumb questions, but it gets a response that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that other people want to hear.
Maybe it's simple questions, not dumb questions.
Exactly.
Like simple questions.
Yep. And then, because we do the who, what, where, why, how. Yeah. But it's more the why that elicits the response. And that's what elicited the response in news all the time when I'd go to the food bank, and it's like, well, we know where to give food. We know how. We know. But then let's talk about the mom the single mom with kids that might not have a Thanksgiving this year that, needs food. That's the why.
That's the why.
That's
the thing
the
that makes
reason
them tick.
Why you need to give food to organizations like that. And that was one of the big ones, because then I could elicit tears. Well, tell me have you met one of the moms? Like the CEO, she's a great woman.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, have you met one of these moms? Oh, yeah. Well, tell me about them. So then they start thinking back, and then now here comes the tears. Here comes, and it's emotion. Because what sells? Emotion.
Yep.
Because if we can lock our brain and our heart together, right? That's what is going to elicit a sale.
Well, yeah, and I think,
emotion.
it's kind of like what I was talking about, getting to know people. When you can get to the heart and find that kind of what you were saying, like where things in common with people, or man, I should really help out the emotion. It's huge. And so when you promote these businesses, you're really helping them tell people the why, which I think a lot of people can probably identify with, because a lot of us, it's our family. It's, that maybe they came to this country and they were the first person that graduated, or the many things, right? People can identify with the struggles or the reasons for a lot of people's whys, which I love that. That's cool.
This morning at one of our meetings, one guy said that he started his business so he can be around to help his daughter, because working 9 to 5, he wasn't able to be home.
And he couldn't help and things like that.
So I think that's brilliant. Helping people connect with businesses in a more personal way.
Absolutely.
And it makes a more lasting impression.
Absolutely.
So it's brilliant.
So if people want to work with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
My website.
Okay.
You can go to webvideoimagery.com.
Okay, webvideoimagery.com.
And there's my phone number's on there.
Okay.
Everything. Facebook. You can find me on Facebook.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I stalk him sometimes. It's fine.
Connect Utah group.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So I'm one of the videographers in that one of 80. But I am the only one with Emmy Awards.
Emmy Awards.
I want to put that out there.
That's pretty cool.
I have 17 of those things. So,
dude.
Wow.
Come on
I'm
now.
sitting with a celebrity.
So they give you like an extra statue for each one?
Huh?
Do they give you like a little statue for each one?
Yeah, go to LinkedIn.
So cool.
And go search Darren Bailey. And on my banner, I got bored one day and lined them all up and did my little video shoot, right?
That's amazing.
Because that's kind of like how we did in news. Like that's our, what do you call it? The barometer of how well we were as a storyteller, how well we did our jobs. Because you could put trash on TV. There's a lot of that on TV, but how did our stories match up to everybody else's in the United States.
That's so cool.
And mine won a bunch. So
we're not just dealing with like, a guy with a camera that just decided to
not dealing with a second shooting videographer guy.
You're not dealing with this guy.
No.
Trevor does awesome, but Darren probably
does better.
I don't know.
I'm not going to say it because he's my unicorn.
I like Trevor's videos.
Trevor does a good job, and that's why he has a job here.
He has. I love the Mario Kart stuff he showed me.
Heck yeah.
We have some really amazing videos.
The videos are fantastic.
Yeah, we need to go viral, don't you think?
They are viral videos. Absolutely.
What are we going to do about that? We got to get out there. Anyway.
I asked him, I said, haven't these gone viral? He's like, not yet. I'm like,
because of mortgage. It's because
their mortgage.
It's mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily like Mario Mortgage, but it's like because it's on the mortgage. It's a mortgage
Super
channel.
Mario Mortgages.
Super Mario Mortgages. No trademark problems.
Yeah, none of them whatsoever.
But anyway, thank you so much for coming in. I hope that people understand like how lucky they would be to work with you. We've had him come in here, help us with stuff, and he's so cool. Yeah. And he's going to do some stuff for us, and we're excited to have you guys see that too. So
we're going to take a tour. We're going to show off
a tour of everything.
The lights and the cameras and the
what used to be a mortgage office and is now a photography.
It's now a
podcasting room.
Something.
It's great.
A cluster.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of cluster? I'm just kidding.
Where we're all on a red couch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you want to know how much this cost me? $60.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't tell my husband because he didn't want me spending money, but I was like, a $60 couch. He can appreciate that.
It's a great couch for $60.
Great couch. It's a great couch.
It fits your vibe.
Yes, it does. It doesn't match my vibe.
It's not pink.
But thank you so much for coming. It was awesome. And I hope people know how lucky they would be to be able to work with you. So go to his website. Again, it's
webvideoimagery.com.
Okay. And find him on Facebook and follow his stuff because it's entertaining and it's actually educational. So go follow him there, and we're grateful to have you on here. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.